It's beautiful, isn't it? This creature belongs to me. So perfect. So obedient. It'll be a flawless addition to my collection. Poor thing. So, shall we begin?
You ready, Doc?
Yes! Fire up the paleo machine and place them into the egg capsules! Starting with my favorite! Tyrannosaurus Volcano Burst! But why did my red Tyrannosaurus become a chicken? I wonder if it would even listen to me. With this, we can transform them back into their little forms while making them more accurate too, being my most brilliant invention yet!
Well then let's enter the kingdom to find out and create even more!
Now I am certain I am destined to become the Dinosaur King!
Then let's open the gates!
Welcome, humans, to Dinosaur Kingdom's Devlog. I shall grant you limited access. However, if you cross me, you won't survive.
That's right. In this video, you'll be granted information on the game's current ongoing development. Every chapter will also reveal a new main dinosaur's transformation sequence, so let's load it up! We open the game for an overhaul of the game itself. It's been completely transformed from its functionality to its layout. Next is the core mechanic, gameplay, with single-player storyline and multiplayer's various battle modes. This game is called Kingdom for a reason, where adding friends means not just training against them, but also sharing resources to strengthen your alliance. We played God and created over 20 more new species to unlock, across all 6 and soon to be 7 elements. Paleontology is where it all began. Grab your excavation gear and bring some of them back to life in this newly unearthed mode. Your collection of move cards will be packed. Physic bending movements and a revamp of type move animations will be key to being victorious. Music to elevate the arenas and roaring sounds to make your dinosaurs feel alive. They need caring as we coexist. Their adorable forms will require much attention. An introduction to the most feared villainous syndicate member across galaxies. She will come for you and your teammates should you choose to challenge her. Dr. Z's dream will come true, but make no mistake, this is a different path, a new vision. We've forged our own franchise, built on respect for the original, but created it for a new generation. And whether you've been here from the start or just arrived, we're bringing you along for the journey. If you dare to, make your move.
Finally! I've taken control of that snotty brat's dinosaur! I'll fuse its card with its signature move card. And success!
Should I be afraid of this one now?
Not unless you want to battle it in the ring.
Those horns look even more dangerous now, so no, maybe we have to go back.
What kind of evil scientist would I be if I stopped in the middle of this groundbreaking experiment?
So, let's begin. It's been some time since our last update, and so much has changed. That's why this won't be the only devlog. We've got a part 2 already planned with even more content than what you'll see today. So let's take a quick look back. We started with a rather simple UI, a basic customization screen. I can select the dinosaurs and apply the moves, of course, later on. It's gonna get a lot better UI to select your moves. Only 4 maps to select from. Rough battle animations. And moves heavily inspired by Dinosaur King. Add volcano burst, everyone. And beyond battling, there really wasn't much else to do. No deeper reason to keep playing. But now 2 years later, as mentioned in the intro, a ton has been updated, optimized, and created. We've shaped this into something that actually feels more like a real video game. A game with a purpose. A reason to download, to explore, to find, unlock, and build memories with your dinosaurs and friends. Since our last summer update, the main menu alone has been remade multiple times to show something that wasn't an illusion, something that was real. Something that we could see and touch. That said, please note the current GUI, being graphical user interface, is still temporary, so everything that makes it look nice. The assets you'll see do not represent the final product. Why? Because development keeps updating, and so do our features. My developers always explain it this way. If we spend time and resources perfecting a polished menu design early on, only to later scrap or rework it, we'd lose both time and money. That's why, for now, we're working with placeholder assets and early sketches, which you'll notice throughout the video, while saving the final polishing for the last stages of development. It's like putting the cherry on top of the cake, basically, at the very end. And with that in mind, before we move on to showcasing other assets, I want to show you how the game currently looks before it undergoes more changes, which ironically, we're already planning. At first, the game had a simple main menu, which we'd already shown. After that, we experimented with a river scene, with an idea that quickly branched into something more ambitious, a 3D interactive menu. The goal was to give players a way to look around and interact with objects that would lead them into different game modes. However, that scene itself turned out to be a bit too messy. The hills were cluttered and there just wasn't enough space to move around comfortably. Which led me back to the drawing board. An open field scene with enough room. A wide clear area where players can freely look around and visually choose what they want to do, rather than only just clicking plain text, other than seeing the amount of resources you have. This menu acts like a central point, where everything connects, from selecting your battles to opening your profile or browsing the shop for items. There is a chance, as mentioned earlier, that this screen will change again. It's been a challenge getting it just right, even from a player's perspective. Let's jump into one of the screens you'll be able to choose from, starting with the customization screen, where you can build and personalize the dinosaur team you'll be battling alongside. Most of us, excluding the Alpha Gang, see these dinosaurs as real animals. That's why we've integrated a system where you can grow closer to your unlocked dinosaurs. You'll be able to interact with them, play with them, and most importantly, feed them. After all, they work up quite an appetite after battling for a long time. This feature is not a replacement for leveling them up with bones, rather a new addition to the system to help you even more. And to make each dinosaur feel truly yours, you can now give them a name of your choice, which will show up during single player battles. We'll be returning to the customization screen in the next devlog for even more features. For now, let's take a quick look at another important update, the profile section. We've expanded it so the game can now track your combat records, so you would have to agree the terms of service before playing, saving the number of battles you've won across all modes, the achievements and badges you've earned, seasonal events you've participated in, missions completed, dinosaurs used, move cards unlocked, and much more. You can also personalize your profile by choosing a profile picture, picking a nickname, and showcasing your current dinosaur team. Updates have, of course, also been made to the Settings tab, giving you more flexibility. Adjust music and sound effects individually. Enable power saving mode for older mobile devices. Feeling stuck? You can replay tutorials whenever you want. And most importantly for many players, change the game's language to your preferred spoken language. Returning to the main menu itself, you'll notice a flying pteranodon, which will deliver your in-game mail daily, including news and upcoming updates, bug fixes, event announcements, and even free gifts. Alongside it, you'll find the new Missions tab, where you can check daily tasks, work toward fulfilling achievements, and earn experience and resources you can use to strengthen your team and those of others. We're experimenting with some other additions to the game. Whether we move forward with them is still up for discussion. And finally, you can't miss it, you'll spot a giant globe over our very own planet, your gateway to the game's very first storyline adventure. Find dinosaurs across the world, defeat and save them to unlock new companions for your team. Another way to receive resources is by visiting the shop. There you'll find offers containing egg capsules of the game's resources, along with individual deals featuring dinosaurs themselves on the market. Dino mods, coins, skins, animations, bones, fossils, and other items to help boost your gameplay experience. Since Dinosaur Kingdom will be a free-to-play game, we want to be transparent about something important. Running online servers and supporting ongoing development requires resources of our own. Over the years, building this project hasn't been free, nor cheap. To help sustain the game's future and continue providing updates, purchases will be available in the shop. Now, these are completely optional. They offer ways to speed up progress, but they're not mandatory to enjoy the full experience. Everything in the shop has been designed to feel rewarding, not just useful, but genuinely exciting to check out. From rare items that add extra flair to special cosmetics that let you stand out. And speaking of looks,
this one was always in need of an upgrade. It kept on losing. We can't let that happen again. Increase the power for this one.
whoa, it jumped right into the capsule as if it wants to evolve into something different.
These modifications made you look gorgeous. It'll swim better now too. Where and why is little Thierry hiding?
I'm staying well clear of this one.
Put this one in a different pen. I'm not having some sort of Jurassic disaster. Maybe I should invent some more aquatic moves now.
Let's take it to the battlefield across all time and space. The concept of traveling around the world to save rampaging dinosaurs in cities has always stuck with me, and I wanted to bring it into a video game one way or another for single player. Similar to the anime's plot, you'll be tasked with tracking down dinosaurs that have spread across the globe based on your rank's progress. With each encounter, you will come face to face with a new dinosaur. Save them, turn them back into cards, and prevent them from harming humans and causing ecological disasters. You'll be assigned missions across many countries and continents during the first chapter, eventually rising to transport yourself through time portals, because dinosaurs won't just be roaming today's world. They'll run wild both in ancient times and even the future, and the maps you battle on will reflect that, starting with our first event shortly after launch. As you explore, you'll also earn and find move cards to aid you and your chosen companion dinosaurs. These cards will vary depending on the dinosaur's rarity and type, and along the way you'll meet new characters, some guiding you, some accompanying you, shaping your journey. As for the story itself, it's currently being set up and written. Got a strong enough team? Then it's time to take the fight online. Multiplayer. You'll be able to compete against real players from around the world. There will be a handful of different battle modes to choose from, not just one dinosaur versus another, but also 2 versus 2 battles, where aside from the luck factor, strategy will take center stage. You'll need a well-built team to fight together, combining your dinosaur strengths and move cards to triumph. Moves will affect the opponent's dinosaurs with effects like damage over time, poisonous traits, healing abilities, and mana MP usage, which becomes a core system you'll have to manage carefully depending on the situation during battle. After every victory, you'll be rewarded with valuable in-game resources to level up your dinosaurs and being able to purchase items worth investing in. Climb the global scoreboard with the trophy and crown system, increasing your rank after wins and dropping after losses. You'll be battling real players after all, and they'll be coming for your spot on the leaderboard. So defend it well, your dinosaurs are counting on you. As we introduce new modes like these, we're also bringing back some classic features, like the ability to switch out dinosaurs mid-battle, and attach a 4th move to your moveset, giving you a backup option in tough moments.
Capture that grass-munching vegetarian!
This one looks like it wants to fight you.
Does it look like I want to be in the middle of a dino brawl?
Those feet can squash anything now. No sauropods needed. But in the end, only one can take the throne: weekend tournaments. In the Colosseum will allow players to compete during specific time windows, racing up the ranks as fast as they can to earn the best rewards. Rewards that not only benefit you, but also the friends you play with. In order to connect with people and your friends, we've coded a system that allows you to add them to your in-game friend list and even create a clan together. You'll be able to search for users by ID or name, send them a friend request, and once accepted, you can chat with them and start a friendly battle to see each other's creations perform head-to-head, just like dinosaurs once did to decide their pack leaders. With this system, we've included a lot of necessary options to make the experience better, like being able to mute or unmute players, especially if they keep bragging that their dinosaurs are better than yours, seeing pending friend requests and even unfriending someone if you've lost to them 5 times in a row.
I wonder what move Gozzi's gonna go with now.
Oh my god!
It's really difficult for me to decide what move to go with, guys.
How is this fair? One of the most beneficial features is the ability to invite and add your friends into a kingdom, either a random one or one you create yourself. Kingdoms will serve as a social center where you and your friends can chill, strategize plans, post announcements, and work together on kingdom-specific weekly missions like winning battles to earn extra experience points and resources you can even share with others based on their rank and unlocked dinosaurs. You'll also be able to decorate your kingdom however you want. Choose a logo and flag, set your kingdom's name, manage members with different roles, promoting players based on their activity and contributions. Of course, it's also competitive. The best kingdoms made of the best players will aim to perform at the highest level to earn the biggest rewards and most valuable resources. There are tons of smaller features behind the scenes that make all of this work, and while most players might never notice them, they are crucial to making the system run smoothly. How did that hippo food-loving dinosaur get in the tank already?
That's because it wants to be rightfully stronger. Let's increase its power. Bah! It's even more docile than before.
Not sure about that, Doc. It could still give me a fractured femur.
Or I'll give you one if you don't continue. Now hurry up, we have more to update.
Aside from these starred main dinosaurs receiving new transformations, there's a whole roster of updated dinosaurs who once roamed our park after being rescued from extinction. They may or may not have broken out of their cards again. Introducing our newest lineup.
Acrocanthosaurus atokensis. Allosaurus gemetini. Ankylosaurus magniventris. Baryonyx walkeri. Ceratosaurus nasicornis. Carcharodontosaurus saharicus. Carcharodontosaurus saharicus. Deinonychus anteropus. Edmontosaurus annectens. Futabasaurus suzukii. Maiasaura publicerum. Pentaceratops sternbergi. Pteranodon. Saurophaganax maximus. Seismosaurus hallurum. Spinosaurus lei. Styracosaurus albertensis. Suchomimus tenerensis. Carcharodontosaurus Models. Utahraptor Australasiarum.
What a roster already! These dinosaurs have been selected to be showcased in this devlog, with even more to come in the next one, all modeled by our modeling and sculpting specialist Aldo Morin. Now, how did we create them? And to answer another important point, why aren't we taking the accurate paleontology route? The reason is actually quite simple. We want to present these dinosaurs in another unique way. Before we start modeling them, we research up-to-date scientifically accurate reconstructions and then combine these ideas with the Dinosaur King aesthetic. By blending aspects from both worlds, sculpting shapes and skin color patterns, we create dinosaurs with their own identity. And that's something I personally really like about them, and especially this caged dinosaur.
And now, citizens of Rome, the greatest soldiers of the Empire will face off against the biggest lizard in all the land!
Now, let's start with our star, the front page character, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. This tyrant lizard king has undergone many changes over the years, as you probably noticed at the beginning of the devlog. To get it right, we kept its main iconic colors, but reimagined certain details. The famous yellow line was shifted from the side of the body to the top, otherwise the design would simply look too close to Dinosaur King's Terry. Next, we gave the T-Rex a more expressive eyebrow ridge, back then having two slightly different versions, one side having a simple bump, the other side featuring a small horn-like spike. But to keep things more realistic and avoid pushing too far into fantasy designs, even with fire-breathing dinosaurs, we kept the horn subtle and saved this idea for future attachments. We kept the classic spikes around the nose and curved the horns across its back. When it comes to the famous feather debate for this dinosaur, I wanted to satisfy both sides of the fan base, those who love the classic scaly design and those who would want feathers. That's why players will be able to choose between two versions.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
A 2000 version with a classic scaly exposed teeth look, and a 2020 version.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Evolution takes over.
Both versions maintain the same yellow fading into red color palette, having different statistical advantages, one having more attack, while the other has more defense. Make this choice wisely. Featuring feathers across its back, arms and head, fur textures blending into scales, and covered lips when the mouth is closed. Cherry is looking fiery strong and ready to dominate the arenas. And its primary prey target, not to be taken lightly,
Triceratops horridus.
The personal history between this ceratopsian and its theropod rival is inevitable, and just like the T-Rex, Triceratops has received an electrifying upgrade. Our new trike features more prominently curved horns, giving it an extra edge in battle against its longtime hunter. We've reshaped its frill, nose horn, beak, and even its feet, now complete with distinct digits. To help it spot ambushes better, we also redesigned its eyes, a feature that's especially handy when facing a sneaky T-Rex. And don't worry, this update applies to all dinosaurs, like the T-Rex, not just Triceratops. Another small but important change, herbivores now have detailed teeth. In the past, Dinosaur King herbivores often had human-like molars, but after researching actual fossil evidence, we've reshaped and added more realistic teeth. Thanks to another paleo YouTuber by the name of Hodgepodge, he has been helping us getting the designs right and getting the formula correct. Now when you'll feed your dinosaurs, they'll be able to chew and bite down naturally, just as they would in real life. One detail I always liked was the electric charge super move. Those shimmering rainbow colors, we've brought that inspiration into Triceratops' design. The frill displays blazes with red, orange and yellow, while the underbelly shifts into flowing greens, blues and purples beneath. This dinosaur doesn't need plot armor to win against larger foes, and it shows. On the other side of the arena stands a semi-aquatic predator that has undergone many paleontological changes and can withstand the blowback of a literal war. We can only be talking about Rex's true competitor,
Spinosaurus aegypticus.
This river-thriving monster also comes with two versions, once again designed to satisfy both worlds. A 2000 version, which keeps the older, more upright stance in mind, and a 2020 version, reflecting more recent scientific discoveries.
Spinosaurus aegypticus.
Even though both versions share the same rig, these designs are distinctly different. The 2020 version features a dip in its prominent sail, a fleshy paddle-like tail for stronger swimming, webbed feet with an added fourth toe, a sharper fish-catching snout, and a head crest torn apart by another sea monster. Its 2020 skin also sports an upgraded color pattern, resembling the classic Dinosaur King look, but with new coloring on the sail and tail, along with water droplets detailed on the sides. Meanwhile, the 2000 Spino swaps its main color to a bold blue, better representing its aqua element, with hints of purple still visible as thin lines between the sail's bone gaps. As for why the newer Spinosaurus still has higher, longer legs, that's a strategic choice. It allows players to switch between these skins without our animators having to completely reanimate the normal and type-based animations, and there are a lot of them. However, some special animations will still showcase its behavior in a more quadrupedal stance, creating a truly frightening visual for any dinosaur foolish enough to contest it over a carcass. This next duck build, Hadrosaur, wouldn't be such an easy meal for a crocodile-like predator like Spinosaurus. Even a Dinosuchus would have trouble reeling this one in.
Parasaurolophus Models.
This ornithopod will also come with two versions, the 2000 and the 2020 designs.
Parasaurolophus Models.
We've replaced its former blue coloring with brown tones to plant it back to its root element, grass. And to show it some love, we've added a flower pattern along its sides, blended with the classic beige colors it always carried. The newer 2020 version features a spoon-shaped beak replacing the old crest mouthpiece, and hooves replacing toes on its front feet. Added flesh connecting to the back of the torso to the tail for a thicker, sturdier build. It's also capable of fighting in a bipedal stance, able to crush down any carnivore foolish enough to think it's nothing more than a walking banquet. This dinosaur will be an appreciated healing addition to your team, keeping your squad strong and healthy while pushing enemies back. The earth rumbles, and it's not the stomach of this dinosaur. Saichania Model has awoken from its slumber, and it's ready to shake the ground.
Saichania Model.
With the addition of proper teeth, it can now keep munching on delicious hippo feed. We've updated its toe formation for better accuracy, perfect for performing those devastating earthquakes. Other upgrades include a color counting shade switch to balance its appearance, a friendlier yet still fierce facial expression replacing the old shocked look, and a newly armored head, spikes relocated more accurately. This newly enhanced ankylosaur may have a reputation for rolling around, but don't expect it to willingly perform tricks when facing a deadly carnivore. This defensive tank's impact will leave devastating damage to anything brave enough to stand against it, or to try and blow it away with wind. This one has an attitude, he's ramming the capsule.
At least it's not another Ceratosaurus. What is with the weird flappy fish hands?
I think it was David that taught him some new dance moves.
Nope, I recognize nothing of the sort.
It may not have won over the females, but it stands a good chance of winning on the battlefield.
Carnotaurus Rex.
This updated Carnotaurus Rex is one of the fastest dinosaurs and could even dodge incoming attacks. The new version of Carnotaurus features a yellow tail lining to symbolize its incredible speed, osteoderms, bony armor to help withstand heavy blows if an opponent spots it early, shortened arms with stubbier digits instead of claws, adjusted with its own unique rig for anatomical accuracy, can be done by manually altering the arm's position for each animation. It takes some time, but many others will share this secondary rig. Even with those tiny arms, its display is still a captivating sight, one that even leaves the T-Rex impressed. 2 Carcharodontosaurus dinosaurs among the new roster have also received major updates, starting with the Carcharodontosaurus? No, it's pronounced Carcharodontosaurus, I think. Hey, we gave you an exceptional update too. Save your biting for the T-Rex. Carcharodontosaurus Hyracus now comes with 2 versions. The 2000 version unchanged from its previous reveal, and a brand new 2020 version featuring a slightly stubbier head, a more accurate depiction for those who prefer realism over its already iconic sculpted design. But don't let this one get overshadowed by its fierce family member, the Kickstarter and backer kit exclusive, the enraged Acrocanthosaurus Atokensis. Both Dr. Z and I are especially proud of this creation. With great care, we upgraded Acrocanthosaurus' model to be slimmer and gave it its signature saber teeth. We also designed an all-new super skin to replace the previous version, which felt incomplete. We experimented to create one of the most awesome dinosaur skins yet, replacing its mostly purple Dinosaur King inspired look with an actual super themed skin. Pink flames burning along its sides, a glowing white line with spikes running across its high prominent sail, and as a tribute to the original design, pale eyes, just like in the arcade game, to blind opponents with its piercing glare. Additionally, it continuously evolved, absorbing too much elemental energy, giving rise to the Alpha Skin variant, a form terrifyingly powerful, available to anyone who unlocks Acro through the tiers. This dinosaur can seamlessly melt the ice surrounding it as it struggles to contain its own power.
A ton of new dinosaurs are currently in development, being carefully created and fine-tuned to meet our standards. And yes, a few sneak peeks are already making their way into the spotlight. Some of them revolve around this swampy guy. And this feisty gal. Believe it or not, they actually helped me inspire some of the skin designs you'll see in the future, straight from our backyard.
Why do we dig? Because paleontology is science, and there's truth in these rocks. And growing up loving dinosaurs, who didn't want to dig out one for themselves? To unearth the very beings we admire and study every single day. To introduce a special alternate way to unlock some dinosaurs, or even level them up further, we're adding a brand new fossil game mode. This minigame unlocks once you collect a full set of fossil pieces from battling or opening eggs. Once activated, you'll be able to enter a mode that's fast-paced yet calming. A challenge of patience, stability, and precision. Instead of just using a single tool like before, we're bringing in multiple excavation tools to enhance realism and immersion. You'll start with a pickaxe to break through the rock, use a brush to gently clear the dust, and apply a special elixir to not only clean the fossil, but to bring it back to life. Yes, literally raising these ancient creatures from extinction. We currently have two fully modeled skeletons, one being Triceratops, as seen in the footage. While the example uses an older model, the updated skeleton will closely resemble our current playable Triceratops. But it won't be the only one buried beneath the surface, because these battles for dominance, they've lasted millions of years. Tyrannosaurus Rex still has a bone to pick with this herbivore, and yes, it can also be dug up. But be warned, you never know what you'll find. Some fossils are much bigger than others, and even though this mode uses an energy bar and has a time limit, you want to dig carefully, especially when handling the remains of a former king. As revealed earlier, the dinosaurs you saw in the transformation scenes also have their baby forms. These chibi dinosaurs resemble their adult models with simplified features, including their colors, patterns, and even their attitudes. And for dinosaurs that have two versions, there will also be a 2000 and 2020 version for their chibi forms. As for example, when T-Rex is equipped with feathers, its chibi form will also show feathered additions, a detail that's quite sentimental. We're working incredibly hard to rig and animate these little peckers into the game, so you can feed, play with, and pet them, just like any other house pet. But they aren't just handed out easily. These pets must be earned, proof that you're capable of taking care of such adorable yet dangerous creatures. A chibi version of a dinosaur will unlock during its later level stages. But what about the other non-main character dinosaurs, the ones unseen in the anime and other games? Rest assured, every dinosaur has a chibi version hidden within the roster, meaning all the dinosaurs we listed earlier will automatically come with their own chibi forms. A wish come true for many fans. This opens up a whole different side of gameplay, and your dinosaurs will definitely thank you for it. One dinosaur especially happy to be alive and well, the Acrocanthosaurus. All supporters who previously purchased Acro and newcomers who still want to will automatically receive its chibi without needing to unlock it separately in-game. Chibis will also appear during battles, when you summon a dinosaur at the start or when switching into one. Both players will see your chibi spotlight moment. Unlocking these little companions makes for a perfect show, and this little lapdog wants to jump in and join the party.
Wake up! New power awakens! This one has the potential to rival any fire type! Start stomping all over my lab, or I'll have you excluded from the main dinosaurs.
And she might be able to deflect my attacks again.
Contain it before it rampages!
Oh, so a sleeping giant did wake up after all, joining the main 6 and officially becoming the 7th main dinosaur in the lineup, chosen by you.
Ampelosaurus Atticus.
This sauropod has received a ton of updates, including a reshaped head, can think of a plan to counter theropod attacks, bigger and better spike placement for improved defense performance, accurate foot and toe sculpting to create shocking waves, new teeth for enhanced vegetation chomping strength, and a personally selected color and pattern upgrade combining elements from both worlds. This dinosaur was, in fact, the winner of one of our community-voted polls, chosen to be added right after the revamps of the main 6, and as promised, we delivered. We're planning to create even more polls in the future to let you decide which dinosaurs should be reintroduced from Dinosaur King or brought in as an entirely new species never seen before. You'll also have a say in gameplay decisions, whether it's adding a new element, ice, or making large Tyrannosaurs fully playable. Your voice matters. If you'd like to be part of this growing community, be sure to follow us on social media. YouTube, where you're watching this on, Instagram, Facebook and X, formerly known in ancient times as Twitter. We'll also be hosting fun events where you can win prizes, discuss the game, and connect with other fans on our Discord server. A chill haven for dinosaur lovers who want to share ideas, chat, and soon battle together. As you've heard us speak, it's only fair that dinosaurs have a voice of their own and a rhythm to celebrate their victories. We've partnered with a talented sound designer and music composer, Acrocanthosaurus. He's already helped bring Dinosaur Kingdom to life through sound, and the next chapter is still being orchestrated. Aki has also worked on other titles such as Road to Vostok, Neolithic Dawn, Super Adventure Hand, even several LEGO and Marvel mobile games, and has collaborated with others on projects like Marauders and Golf with Your Friends. He first reached out expressing interest in composing for the game, and after hearing his draft for the main menu theme, I was instantly hooked. And now it's your turn to hear why. Every dinosaur movie, documentary, or video game is shaped by its soundtrack. It's not just background, it elevates to move you. Think about any piece you've ever heard. You don't just remember the scene, you remember how it made you feel. So to give you an even more authentic and immersive experience, we proudly present a few short samples of the music tracks that will play as you explore the game. This is the Dinosaur Kingdom title screen with a build-up. The Early Access main theme. Adult customization theme. Chibi customization theme. Fossil theme. Shop theme. Kingdom theme. Searching for opponent. Online battle theme. Tournament battle theme. And many more are being composed, from single-player battle tracks that vary by region to the new modes and navigating different screens. And what gives these tracks their extra punch? Dinosaur sounds mixed right into them. We're talking about egg openings, fossil tools, hit and impact sounds, movement cues, UI and menus, even the VFX sound effects for battle moves, and the dinosaur vocals, the roars, including idle sounds, main battle roars out of 3 types, and even their final cries. Using a mix of references and inspirations from other franchises, just like the models, we blended and reworked each sound you've heard, giving every mechanic and every dinosaur a voice of its own. After listening to all these tracks, it makes me want to move, and that's exactly what our dinosaurs are about to do. Before we jump into showcasing our new animations, there's something important I want and need to mention. After multiple calls and speaking with an attorney about the game, specifically regarding some of the older models and the super move animations you might still see in the upcoming clips, we've taken steps to stay on the safe side when it comes to copyright and creative ownership. Even though Sega has historically been kind to many fan-made projects, we want to be careful and show that with every update, we are carving our own path, which is the most ideal to be secured. That's why all of our new super moves are not only inspired by what came before, but are now distinctly different. And to be honest, that's actually made the process more exciting, because we've been able to let our creativity fully come to life. The method was simple. No copy pasting. We're not just reusing old animations, because that would give the game no identity of its own. Instead, I challenged myself to reimagine everything with fresh ideas, and I personally had a blast doing it. I spent time thinking, writing, and even performing many of the super moves myself. Why? Because within our short budget range, we didn't have the time or money to rely on traditional 2D drafts or expensive storyboard sequences. So I took matters in my own hands. Literally. I carefully explained the scenarios I envisioned, sometimes using my own body, and most of the time using actual dinosaur figures to act out the movements. And the amazing part? It worked! Flawlessly and hilariously! The animators completely got it. They understood exactly what I was going for. And after working with me closely for many years now, our developers began sharing their own ideas after a while. Not just for the animations, but for the game itself. Not without a few funny moments and fails along the way. Like that. In its arms. The opponent is just standing there. And then what it does is that it pretty much lifts itself up. And the opponent dinosaur, mission failed. It just jumped and it fainted. But above all, I let my passion lead. The love I have for dinosaurs and the joy of imagining their movements brought out my inner child. And after a bit of waiting, the actual animations arrived. When entering and participating in a battle, a wide variety of animations are required, and many have already been made. Previously, our idle animations were simple, dinosaurs standing still and gently breathing. But during a recent call with the team, I came up with a new idea. A series of short idle movements that combine into one longer sequence, spanning about 15 to 20 seconds. That's roughly the same time you'll have each round to choose your move. So while you're thinking, your dinosaur will now start walking around awaiting your command. And in some ironic situations, like when you and your opponent choose the same move, it results to a tie, but not just a generic outcome, there will be multiple tie animations, like the classic headbutt, and even a full-on body clash. One of the few moments where we lean more into realistic combat. Outside of these default animations, we also have move-based animations, depending on what's selected. Each one has its own effect and flavor, helping bring variety to every battle. Now for the main spectacle, the type moves, formerly known as super moves. As mentioned earlier, and while it may upset some fans, for the greater good of the project, we've made a decision to completely scrap the anime and arcade inspired super moves. And to be honest, that was heartbreaking for me too. After some deep conversations with the attorney, who's been a huge help throughout this process, I realized it had to be done. It was a difficult but inevitable decision. We had already animated nearly every move you're about to hear on this list. A lot of time, effort, and resources went into them, and we had to let them go. But in the end, I'm glad we did, because it opened the door to something even better. A new generation of moves that we can proudly call our own and present with full confidence. Let's start with Fire's most iconic attack, Volcano Burst, best known as the signature move of the Red Tyrannosaurus. That means the first version of this move is being replaced with an original alternative. And honestly, while the originals were iconic, we believe our new versions bring a fresh twist, and in many cases, even raise the bar. Let's take our version of Volcano Burst. With a heavy stomp, the dinosaur cracks the battlefield. It builds a fire in its mouth, moving its head side to side, then shoots it into the crack, sending a blazing trail toward the opponent, erupting beneath them and launching them skyward like a true volcanic blast. This move now lives up to its name even more. And on that note, the names of these moves will also receive changes to give them their own identity and to keep everything legally safe. But for the sake of DK fans, we'll continue to refer them by their original names for now. Next, Fire Cannon. This move now has 3 slightly different versions, and with it, we're introducing a brand new gameplay mechanic. It's no longer just about picking the right rock, paper or scissors button. To land the full damage, you'll also need quick reflexes. Depending on your timing with a sequence of buttons or touch inputs, 1 correct press, 1 cannon hit, 2 is double hit, and a perfect combo of all 3, maximum firepower. We believe this added layer of input will keep players even more engaged, no longer relying solely on chance, but also on skill and timing. This mechanic will most likely also be applied to other futuristic moves. And finally, one of my new personal favorites for fire-type dinosaurs, Flare Sword to Axe. In this move, our T-Rex wields a massive axe, held confidently with its arms and fingers, to crush anyone who dares to say they're too short to be useful. There are even more fire-type moves in the works, but to save some surprises for the next devlog update, we'll keep these contained for now. They're even more exciting to witness and unlock, so stay tuned. Now let's take a swim and talk about the opposite element, water. With water, we're introducing element status effects, starting with Shockwave. This move sends a quick pulsing wave from the player's dinosaur. It catches the opponent off guard, leaving them confused under an effect that's subtle but disruptive, something they'll need to manage carefully during battle. Tragedy of the Sphere. The player's dinosaur traps the opponent inside a water sphere, slams it away, and after a series of bounces, the big water bubble shatters. Sound effects and music for all moves will be added once the scenes are finalized in editing. Aqua Vortex, a whirlpool, forms beneath the opponent's feet, spinning them around in a violent stream. They can escape, but doing so leaves them exhausted. Aqua Javelin. Small puddles begin forming at the opponent's feet. Your dinosaur tries to block them with its own steps, but misses one. A sudden water jet bursts upward, launching the opponent high into the air. We currently have double the amount of water type moves thanks to Ampelosaurus being part of the water element, expanding the roster significantly. Of course, this will be balanced carefully across all elements. Up next, lightning elemental moves with shocking aftermaths. Lightning Axe, our Kickstarter exclusive lightning move. Strike down the opponent's dinosaur with a glowing double-sided axe. One side to slice, the other to slam with a devastating knockout blow. It's a fast, brutal finishing move that gets the job done. Lightning Spear, your dinosaur lifts the opponent into the air, then spawns two glowing electric spears from the Ceratopsian's horns, piercing the enemy mid-air before slamming them back into the ground with deadly precision. These heavy hitters waste no time. Electric Charge. Sadly, we had to scrap the original anime version of this move, as it was too similar visually. But don't worry, these dinosaurs weren't built for defense for nothing. In this version, your dinosaur blocks the incoming hit with a sudden full force ram, using a yellow shimmering shield to repel the attack. Lightning Strike. A Triceratops roars up into the sky, summoning a storm cloud shaped like its own head. A massive thunderbolt crashes down from above, slamming into the opponent and leaving them shocked and immobile for the next round. You may notice that some animations are still a work in progress. Since we made the decision to start over from scratch, many of the previews you're seeing are displayed across different maps, using a mix of old and new models, all animated and recorded at different times and in different environments. That's why you'll see some visual inconsistencies for now, but rest assured, everything's being brought up to standard. And right behind lightning comes the wind element, swift, sharp and tricky to dodge. Biting Wind. Carnotaurus in this preview snaps its jaws rapidly, summoning ghostly biting heads and strike all over the opponent's body, like a frenzied piranha attack from every direction. Cyclone. Instead of summoning a tornado around itself, your dinosaur lifts the opponent high into the air, spinning them mid-air in a controlled vortex. Then it leaps forward, uses the wind to twirl around them at high speed, and finally rams them downward, letting gravity deal the final blow. Hurricane Beat, the Kickstarter move. With a burst of speed, the dinosaur begins spinning its tail rapidly, creating a windy whirlpool that pulls the opponent in. Once it's close, it strikes repeatedly around the opponent's head, then finishes the combo with a full backflip tail slam, launching them out of the storm. Ninja Attack! The dinosaur dashes forward with a katana gripped in its mouth. It leaps into the air, spawning multiple shadow duplicates of itself, then slices through the opponent dinosaur from left to right in rapid succession, inflicting bleeding damage and leaves the target unable to move properly next round. Now it's time for a couple of moves that'll make the earth move. Crystal Crusher. Saichania summons massive crystals in the air, rotating them around the opponent, then slamming them down onto it with crushing force. Quicksaber. The Ankylosaurus raises its tail into a curved position like a scorpion and begins to shuffle sideways, holding up a deadly venomous stinger. It launches forward and pierces the opponent's dinosaur, leaving it paralyzed if struck. It's a simple move but highly effective, and honestly I really like it because of that. As with some of the other elemental types, more earth-based moves are currently in development and will be revealed in a future update. The same goes for many of the grass-type moves, which were originally planned to feature third-party dinosaurs alongside them. But as development progressed, new ideas emerged, and animating grass moves turned out to be more complex than expected. That's why we're only showing one grass move for now. For a long time, we had trouble getting the Parasaurolophus rig to cooperate. It wouldn't work correctly in our Maya versions, while all of the other rigs were working fine. After battling through endless errors, we finally got it functioning, but since we had to prioritize finishing the elements tied to working rigs, only one grass move made the cut for this devlog. And that move is the Kickstarter exclusive Metal Wing. I wanted to show this one in particular because many of you are eager to see how it turned out. In Dinosaur King, there were 3 slightly different versions of Pteranodon. The Sternbergi version is now commonly recognized as its own genus, Geosternbergia, while the more classic version remains Pteranodon longiceps. We removed the third variant in favor of something new, and now we feature 2 distinct models, one based on the more accurate longiceps, the other on Sternbergi, with their color palettes switched. Blue and white for one and white and blue for the other. And for the other third, it will keep the orange, inspired by the DK version. In Metal Wing, these flying reptiles assist Parasaurolophus in battle by launching into the air, spinning around and racing towards the opponent's dinosaur, not to slice through but to clip them with their wings, pushing and dragging them across the ground before letting go and dealing a final impact of damage. And that wraps up most of the super move animations I'll be showing in this devlog, but there's plenty more on the way. If the ice element ends up being added, you can bet my creativity will sparkle even more. But before we bring back the mammoths, the battle isn't over quite yet. Because what's a fight without some taunting or a good victory pose to go with it? Let's take a look at the new shorter non-battle deciding animations, emotes and victory animations. Some dinosaur battle moves already have a touch of goofiness to them, so it's only fitting that we expand on that with a set of fun animated emotes that your dinosaurs can perform during battle. A new button opens up the emote list where you'll be able to choose an emote for your dinosaur to act out. Some emotes are exclusive to specific dinosaurs, others are element based, and some are universal, just like how super moves are handled. Once triggered, the animation plays for both players to see, with the camera adjusting based on whether you're the one using the emote or watching your opponent perform it. Let's take a quick look at some of the emotes, ones that most, if not all, dinosaurs can use in-game, regardless of rarity. A wave to say hello, or goodbye. Stomp the ground to get battle ready. Boxing warm-up and leg stretches to prep before a fight. Sneezing, either as innocent behavior or subtle mockery. Scratching to relieve an itch. Tail chasing, dog behavior for those who want to play instead of fight. Tail wagging to show satisfaction or happiness. Bark at your opponent if they're unresponsive. Roll over to totally stop wounds from bleeding. Clap either as a genuine applause or sarcastic praise. Tail taunt to, well, get under your skin. Everything okay down there? I'll check after a heavy hit. And falling asleep if the battle's dragging on too long for your taste. But not all emotes are available to everyone. Some are tied to anatomy types, since certain dinosaurs don't have the limbs needed to perform them. Examples include claw checking for water and wind types. Sauropods don't have claws, so they're excluded. Begging for mercy, exclusive to theropods, where your dinosaur pleads for sympathy if things aren't looking good. Literal flaming hands or claws, only available to fire-type dinosaurs, to show you're on fire in more ways than one. And more custom emotes planned for other sauropods still to come. Lastly, we have species-specific emotes, animations only available to one particular dinosaur. For example, the T-Rex performing a chicken wing flap, which becomes extra ironic if you're using its 2020 feathered skin. A Aside these emotes, we're also introducing victory and defeat animations. Longer, more expressive taunts that play at the end of the match, depending on whether you win or lose. These are viewable by both players right before the rewards are distributed. This is where we get to show off the funnier side of the game, implementing meme-inspired dances and ridiculous animations, all performed by dinosaurs. And I'll admit, for some of these, I personally can't wait to see them in action. Just like emotes, victory animations are also divided into 3 categories. Some are exclusive to specific dinosaurs, others are element-based, and a few are universal, just like how super moves and emotes are handled now as well. At the end of every battle, both players will see the winning dinosaur perform its celebration. One of the universal victory animations is the classic roaring pose, a timeless celebration that every dinosaur can perform. We've also revisited some beloved animations from Dinosaur King, bringing them back in rare form for DKM. The yoga animation seen from the Japanese anime. The lazy dance from the show's original intro.
Dinosaur King is what you wanna be, yeah. Dinosaur King is your destiny, yeah. Come on, make
And who could forget the joyful group dance from the iconic Bali episode without any interruptions? For element-based victory animations, some highlights include the following flare animation, exclusive to fire types. The water gun dance, available only to water types. Many more are already planned as we continue to experiment and come up with new ideas tailored to each elemental theme. And then there are the species exclusive celebrations. Fittingly, the king of the Tyrant Lizards will reclaim its throne after victory. We're introducing a T-Rex exclusive animation where it sits triumphantly on a throne, basking in glory. A final powerful gesture that asserts complete dominance over the battlefield. This Rex exclusive throne animation will remain special, and to preserve its rarity, it can only be unlocked by becoming a monthly supporter. We're now closing late pledges from BackerKit, originally from Kickstarter, and moving forward with a fresh new chapter on Patreon, featuring both returning and brand new rewards. Anyone who previously supported us on Kickstarter and BackerKit will keep all of their rewards, which will be granted upon the game's launch. The same idea applies to our Patreon, which helps us give us the extra boost we need to publish this game exactly the way we all want to play it. So, what does Patreon bring to the table? Tier 1, insert 1 coin, you can get a card. Gain early access to the game before its public release, giving more players the chance to dive in ahead of launch. Tier 2, prehistory in the making. Everything from Tier 1 plus behind the scenes content, also posted on the Patreon page, a Discord role and access to the new chat channel, poll access to vote on your dinosaur to be in the game, and your name credited on our upcoming official Dinosaur Kingdom website. Tier 3, dancing dinos. Obviously everything from the previous tiers. This goes for all higher tiers. A new emote and victory animation unlocked every single month, and an exclusive profile frame for your in-game logo, a unique badge of honor to showcase your support. Tier 4 Colorful Champion, a new dinosaur skin delivered monthly, and a new battle super move each month, beginning with the 3 Kickstarter exclusive moves and expanding from there. Tier 5 All Fired Up. Reintroducing Acrocanthosaurus. This tier gives you both the adult dinosaur and its chibi version, ready to feed and pet in game. Every month, you'll receive a new chibi dinosaur from a random element, and starting from your second month, your Acro will evolve into its super version, featuring higher stats and a one-of-a-kind exclusive super move. If you're a Kickstarter backer and BackerKit supporter who already unlocked Acrocanthosaurus, you'll receive a free token of appreciation, a unique juvenile skin for the Acro Chibi, inspired by the brief flashback in the original anime series. Tier 6 Golden King. You'll be crowned with the Golden King title, unlocking the exclusive throne victory animation as a show of prestige and allegiance to the project. In addition, you'll receive the Golden Tyrannosaurus Rex skin for both variants, 2000 and 2020, and a new Golden Dinosaur skin every month, starting with the Triceratops in the second. These rewards directly help us bring Dinosaur Kingdom to life, supporting continued development, community requested features, and even more content for players around the world. Any donation is deeply appreciated, and we thank you in advance for becoming a patron of this project even before it launches.
All our kingdoms are getting more complete by the day.
Indeed, look at everything we've gotten to accomplish with the help of the dedicated fans and hardworking developers.
Yes, quite right. And lucky you don't know the other experiments I'm currently working on.
Do I want to know what you're up to?
Not until the next devlog, or be eaten.
Just take care, Grandpa Doctor. This may be one of the final moments we ever see you again.
That may be a valid point, but I don't want to go. Here, I am king! Anyway, I've got an accomplice who can carry out my plans. And while you sit on my throne, I'll go and experiment on some new, never-before-seen dinosaurs.
For centuries, mankind reigned unchecked, bending the world to their will, stripping it of its wild, untamed glory. But now, the world stands at the edge of a new era. I've walked through the cracks of time, unearthing what was buried, reviving what was stolen. And with a single command, I shall bring back the titans of the past, not as relics to be caged, as rulers, but only under my control. The leash has finally snapped, and the world will remember who ruled it first. Let them rise. This is not evolution. This is reclamation. But I suppose every kingdom needs its champion, doesn't it? Will that title be bestowed upon you? Or will you simply be their food to be eaten? Not that I'm concerned. I have others to do my bidding. And of course, my plan.
And with that villainous introduction, we reached the outro of this incredible devlog episode. I couldn't even cover everything I originally planned for this devlog, so yes, part 2 is already in the making. It's taken months to bring this first part together, and the process has been just as challenging as it's been rewarding. Quickly want to take a moment to apologize for the delays, both with the devlog and with the game itself. It's been a difficult road, especially after losing my mother at the end of last year. But I just know in my heart that obviously she would want me to continue. I've kept the goal alive, the dream of launching this mobile game and delivering to you all an unforgettable and meaningful experience, built from the ground up. One that I started exactly 5 years ago. Over time, I've been fortunate enough to work with truly great people who now share the same passion and vision I've held since day one. So to my team, thank you. For the ones that have worked and are still working on the project, namely Rehan, Safir, Muzamil, Amjad, Tanvir, Alumi, Leonardo, Saklain, Aldo, Kwang, Naska, Aki, Nomi, Lexa, Wahab, Razam, Kuldeep, Arnold, Tariq, Saeed, Usama, Arslan, Jane, Muggy, and Sabtain. And of course, thank you, the viewer, for not only watching this devlog, but also supporting us throughout the years and for staying with us as we move forward. I know many of us, myself included, I would have loved to see this game released yesterday. But the truth is, game development takes longer than most expect, and rushing it doesn't make it any better. Now, leading a team of over 20 amazing developers and creators for Dinosaur Kingdom, I realized that the real joy isn't only in the final product, but ironic in the memories we create, the challenges we overcome, and the shared love we pour into building this video game. There's been trial and error that makes us forget simply to enjoy the ride. But every step is shaping something truly special and exciting. I can't wait to share even more with you. And we'd love to hear what you think about everything that we've revealed so far. Thank you so much. And until the next episode, this is what we wanted to be. This is our destiny. To be a Dinosaur King.